My name is Obi Kelvin Ezenyili. Originally, I am from Oko, Amakom, but by birth, I am from Asaba, Ogbilo precisely, and the both communities are still trying to negotiate on where I'll finally fall in. We have 3 communities resident in Oshimili South, which is Oko, Asaba, and Okwe. So if I am privileged to be from Asaba and Oko, that means I am a fully Oshimili South person. So it's a great privilege for me as a contender. My academic background has been shaped right from my university days. I studied political science and public administration at Igbinedion University, Okada. Afterwards, I moved to the University of Ghana, Legon, to do IT professionals. When I finished from there, I went to University of York. I did public administration and public policy, MSc. From there, I went to University of Manchester, where I studied governance and public policy, masters as well. So throughout my academic journey, I've been privileged to focus directly on ways to impact life, ways to impact development, ways to impact democratic good governance, and the rest of developmental stride in political journey. My political journey so far, I would have that courage to say, started while I was in school. Because by the end of my second master's degree at the University of Manchester, I was able to, create that lacuna, we call it gap, within the political spheres of development. So I was able to put up a book, which I titled Democracy and Good Governance in Nigeria, a survey of indices of transparency and accountability. And that book was forwarded by Professor Epiphany Azinge, an Asaba man, and a scholar. For someone like that to forward my book, it tells a lot to the people about how a young man like me at 2012 has looked into the ideas of governance and put it in a book for people to have a view of it. So my academic background has shaped me politically in the journey so far. After the launch of my book, which took place in Grand Hotel, I started engaging in political movement to see how things are run back here in Nigeria, back here in Delta State, back here in Oshimili South, and try to compare with my experience abroad. So during the journey, I was privileged to serve as supervisor for special duties and agric in Oshimili South local government area of Delta State. Afterwards, while in the office, I got the privilege to also be appointed by our leader and the executive governor of Delta State, Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Okowa, as SA Special Duties in the Office of the Chief Job Creation Officer under Professor Eric Ebo. Afterwards, in the second administration, I was also privileged to be appointed Senior Special Assistant to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Delta State, on youth monitoring and mentoring. During my journey in these appointment levels, I was able to interact with people, interface with a lot of organizations, partake in a lot of representative platforms. So I started asking myself, how then can I make this direct change? Not on appointment level, being the person that decide, with the help of a committee or with the help of an executive gathering, how will I be able to make this change? So I started, doing consultations, gradually talking to political leaders, because the truth about it is that you cannot go far in politics if you don't do consultations. By the consultations, we know here is basically for people to take money and meet leaders and bribe them. No, that's not what I mean by consultation. In my perspective, what I see as consultation was, going to meet the leaders who you are very clear they know more than you, and then they advise you on how they got to the stage at which they are, and then from there you could pick the things that you feel is important to your political journey. So those were the things I did, and after consultations and constant consultation, I was able to know that the journey is something that is feasible. So first of all, I prayed to God Almighty, and then I, stood out for the youths, agitating for a chance, and then afterwards, first of all, I had a great partnership with the youths before I moved into, direct political consultation for the electoral process. Well, for me, since the older people could do it, partake in political movement and participation and drive, I think that we as youth also can do it. One thing I am very sure, and I have to preach it, that the youth should understand that Obi Kelvin Ezenyili is not going to be the chairman of Oshimili local government by the grace of God come 6th of March. We are all as youth going to be the chairman, and we are all as youth going to work together with consultations to the leaders. I said when I got to the Asaba's Palace that I must really thank them, first of all, the traditional institution, and then thank the political class, the political leaders for giving the youth this platform. And the platform has been embraced by Obi Kelvin Ezenyili. And I promised them that I, Obi Kelvin Ezenyili, will not be that youth, that will kill the drive and the focus and the clamor of the youth to be in politics. I am going to do my best to consult every leader before a proper decision is taken. I am going to always consult the traditional institution before any deliberation is taken that will affect them. I am going to consult everybody consultable. I am going to always speak with the youth. Picking a woman as my advice also shows that women will be completely worked with and carried along in this drive. Formerly, what we used to experience and what we all know is that we as the political class, we work with women and youth basically during the electoral process. We talk to them about why they need to vote us, why they need to work with us. But after the election, you see that everything goes into fade. And what I promised them when I declared that this administration, by the grace of God, if I win the election, will be different. That we're already working with a woman as my vice, and me representing the face of the youth will go a long way in bringing a new administration and a new goal to my reign. My agenda directly, I'm focusing on peace and security. We all know the rate of insecurity in the country, not just Asaba and not just Oshimili South or Delta State. It's a problem in the country. So I'm going to partner with the traditional institution, the community vigilantes, to ensure that we kill the menace of insecurity in Oshimili South. We're going to also look at the issue of environmental sanitation. There is a need to preach to the people and to enforce laws that will make the people know that keeping their environment clean is very vital to the health and well-being of the populace. We are going to look at the issue of primary health care. We are going to partner with the primary health care agencies to ensure a very great health service delivery. We are going to focus on empowerment programs that will enhance the abilities, and the entrepreneurship level of the youth and the women. Also, when we talk about youth empowerment, which we all know, there's a lot of, programs and a lot of initiatives that come under youth empowerment. When you talk about the issue of education, because we plan on, enhancing the education within the primary level. So it's also under youth empowerment. Before the primaries, I declared that the LGA under my esteemed party, the People's Democratic Party, and I promised them that if they vote for me, which the delegates, I mean, if they vote for me and I emerge the flag bearer of the People's Democratic Party, first of all is that I know that by the grace of God, I will not disappoint them. And I also stated the fact that every decision taken must be duly consulted before action is taken. So it's a rare privilege for a youth and a youth of my type, which deals with focus, which deals with targets, to emerge during the primary process. And when I was making a speech at the primary ground, I also stated and pleaded with the other contestants to work with me that have emerged after a successful primaries. Each and every one of them, there has a reason why they really actually wanted to be a council chairman or contest under the platform of People's Democratic Party. We are going to have a committee of the aspirants, so we'll also tinker and reach a decision in various areas. We will also be needing their guide and their suggestion, and so I'm going to work with all the aspirants within Oshimili South local government so that we can move the local government forward. As for the party, I have always respected the party. I have always paid my dues. I have always respected and consulted the leaders, and that will not change. That is my personality. That is my upbringing. I'm not being humble or respectful because of political position or aspiration. I am Obi Kelvin Ezenyili, and I am very humble and loyal. First of all, I thank God Almighty because He's the Alpha and Omega. He speaketh before anything happens. Secondly, I thank His Excellency Senator Dr. Ifeanyi Atokowa for giving us, the aspirants, an enabling platform, to contest the primaries free and fair. Every press was there, every person was there, the DSS, the police were there to witness the primaries. It's one of the most successful primaries I have witnessed as a political participant. So I must thank the people of Oshimili South. I must thank the delegates that, took part in the primary process. I must thank the leaders of the People's Democratic Party, Delta State. I must also thank the great leaders of Oshimili South, People's Democratic Party. I must also thank the party chairman, Obueshidado Okonji, who ensured that the primary process was as esteemedly free and fair. Tata ife na-agwa ndị Oshimili bụ na ije anyị jekọwọ ntụchukwu si wee kwue. Anyị bịa na 6th of March, anyị atụnye akwụkwọ for PDP in the person of Obi Kelvin Ezenyili. Anyị atụnye akwụkwọ for all the councillors in the 20 district wards. Ife anyị na-ekwe ụnụ nkwa bụ na ọchịchị nke ga-adị iche. Ọchịchị nke ama bụ ọchịchị ndị a na-abụ achịsịa mbụ, ndị mmadụ a na-ekwu okwu na-ewe iwe. Ọ bụ ọnụ anyị ji ume niile, mana ntụ Oshimili South si wee dị. Anyị amago ka communities niile dị n'ime si wee dị. Anyị amago kwezi ife anyị ga-eme wee na anyị chi ime ife. Anyị amago kwezi ndị anyị ga-ejekwe tụnyakwa alụ, wawa tụnyakwa anyị alụ tupu anyị ejebe ime ife ọbụla anyị ga-eme n'Oshimili South a. N'Oshimili South local government here bụ gọọmenti anyị ncha niile. Na ndị ife nchọka ndị mmadụ malite ata bụ na Oko na Asaba na Okwe bụ ofu. Anyị ga-abụgide ofu nọ ntụchukwu si wee mee. Ọchịchị nke anyị na-abịawa bụ ka anyị wee nwee ike wee dozisi ife ndị mebi emebi mbụ, ife ndị ime ndị mmadụ ji ewe iwe, ife ndị ime ndị mmadụ ji ekwu ife dị iche iche. Na ọchịchị nke abịago idozi ya bụ ife. Nọ ife anyị na-ayọ unu tata bụkwa unu kwado anyị on the 6th of March. Tụnyali PDP akwụkwọ n'Oshimili South. Tụnyali ndị kanselọ niile akwụkwọ. Tụnyali mmụ bụ Obi Kelvin Ezenyili akwụkwọ. Ya na my vice Mrs. Ife Ogbuogwu. Na unu tụnyala anyị akwụkwọ. Anyị ama mee unu ife ifele. Anyị ga-achị ọchịchị dị iche na 2021 a wee lue na tenu anyị agwụ. Ọ ife nna ya unu tata. Daalụnụ ndị Oshimili South. Daalụnụ.